Hello again, I am Blunty. This is my iPhone 6s Plus. This is my brand new iPhone 7 Plus. And for those of you who follow me on Twitter will be well aware of the catastrophic time I had getting this damn thing. Pre-ordered it before launch and it took 21 days before I got it because I did happen to order the, as you may be able to tell, the shiny, jet black 7 Plus in the 256GB variety, which is apparently the unicorn of all iPhones. There's fewer of these around than any other type, apparently. Anyway, as the title might suggest, I'm going to shoot these shot for shot, like for like, with the wide-angle camera. Yes, this has a secondary camera, but there's no point testing it like for like because this doesn't have the secondary camera. So the wide-angle camera only, front and back. We're going to do it shot for shot. Stills first in this video. Going to follow this up almost immediately with a video comparison as well. And I'm going to be using the standard default camera app, no special manual apps or anything like that. They are running the same version of iOS, all of that kind of stuff, matched up as fairly as possible on the same conditions, mounted on the same rig, sort of side by side, exposed and focused at the same point, all of that kind of stuff, just to see what the difference is. Now, to preface this, I haven't actually gone out and shot with these yet. I'm pre-recording this before I do that. I'm not expecting huge differences. I mean, for the last several versions of the iPhone, it hasn't been a great leap forward. It's been a little bit leap forward, a little bit forward, a little bit forward every single time. And that's fine. You can't expect, to revolutionize a product every single time they upgrade it. It's ridiculous that people freak out about that. Well, it's only a slight upgrade from the last version. Well, of course it is. That's how things work, you idiots. Anyway, let's go and have a look at how these perform in stills mode out in the real world.
So, much as Apple promised on stage at the announcement of the new phones, the combination of the new sensor, the new brighter, wider aperture lens, and an even more powerful image processing system, the iPhone 7 Plus is immediately, obviously better in low light. It's cleaner, brighter, it avoids crushing the shadows and resolves even more detail. It also seems to err slightly on the cooler side of things when it comes to the auto white balance. Now, personally speaking, I like my images slightly on the warmer side, but the white balance on the iPhone 7 Plus is, in fact, more accurate to the real world. The upgrade to the front-facing camera is a much more significant improvement with a huge boost in resolution. Now, as a person who doesn't take many selfies and certainly doesn't use FaceTime video chatting for people and stuff, I've never really liked the front-facing camera on iPhones, and I never really used it much. Until now, that is. It's still a long way from standing side by side with the best front-facing cameras out there on other phones, but it is at least now something I'm more comfortable using more often, especially for vloggy style video, the two camera pieces, and I'll come back to that in the next video, which I will focus on the video functionalities coming up next. But once the sun is up and we've got ample light to play with, the difference between the main cameras is in fact less pronounced as I'd expected, but it is still consistently better. The iPhone 7 Plus is just a bit sharper, just a bit cleaner, and pulls in a wider dynamic range, holding on to the highlights better and retaining more detail in the shadows. All fantastic things, especially if you like to edit your images. Some of this is the sensor, some of it is the newly redesigned 6-element lens over the 6S Plus's 5-element lens, and of course the wider, brighter aperture on the new lens. And with more light, the significant improvement on the front-facing camera is still immediately obvious. Much sharper, much cleaner, and of course much higher resolution too. All in all, ignoring the secondary telephoto camera on the 7 Plus, which obviously we can't use an apples for apples comparison side by side as we have been doing throughout the rest of this video, but which does need pointing out because it does deliver a very significant new set of possibilities, capabilities, and shot choices, and more flexibility to any shooter is a good thing. But the main wide-angle camera on the iPhone 7 Plus is, as I'd expected, a moderate but measurable improvement over the 6S Plus. In the next video, we're going to be looking at the video capabilities, which, at least for me, as a YouTuber kind of guy, is a much more important factor. But for now, take a seat in my down below area and let me know what you thought of the differences between these two cameras. And just as a warning to you guys, even though these people have already commented because they don't watch the entire video before ranting and raving on their fanboying kind of stuff, if you are a fanboy for or against iPhone or for or against Samsung or anybody else out there, if you don't behave yourself, I will just be deleting your comments because I would like this to be a constructive place. Not yet another arena for the parroting of crap we've all heard before a gajillion times and are catastrophically bored of. So be useful or bugger off. Thanks for watching. I am Blunty, and I will catch you next time.